Have you ever felt stuck? Like the world sees you as nothing more than the role you're in right now? Let me tell you a story that might change how you see yourself and your potential. This is the story of Mark, a janitor who, against all odds, rose to become the CEO of the very company where he once swept the floors. Yes, you heard that right. But his journey wasn't about luck. It was about determination, hard work, and one unshakable belief that his circumstances didn't define his future. Mark grew up in poverty. His father left when he was just 5 years old, and his mother worked 3 jobs to keep food on the table. He barely made it through high school and had no chance of going to college, with no other options. He took a job as a janitor in a big corporate office. Every night, as he cleaned the offices, he overheard conversations from the boardroom. They were talking about business strategies, investments, and growth, words that meant nothing to him at the time. But something inside him stirred. He thought, what if? What if I could learn what they know? What if I could change my life? One night, Mark found a torn business magazine in the trash. Instead of throwing it away, he read it, and then he read it again. That magazine sparked something in him. He started saving every penny to buy secondhand books about business, leadership, and personal growth. During his breaks, while others rested, Mark was reading. He wasn't just dreaming about a better life, he was preparing for it. One day, Mark did something bold. After his shift, he approached a senior executive and asked, if you could give one piece of advice to someone who wants to succeed, what would it be? The executive was stunned. A janitor asking about success, but instead of brushing him off, he answered, never stop learning, and always look for ways to solve problems for others. That advice became Mark's mantra. He started applying it right away. When he noticed a broken office chair, he fixed it. When the copier jammed, he stayed late to repair it. Mark wasn't just doing his job anymore, he was making himself indispensable. One day, Mark overheard a meeting about budget cuts. On his own time, he researched ways to save money and came up with a small but effective idea. Nervously, he shared it with management. The result? His idea saved the company thousands of dollars. The CEO called him into the office and said, "You're not just a janitor, you're an asset." That was the moment everything changed for Mark. He was promoted to an administrative role. It wasn't much, but it was a step forward. And Mark kept climbing. Over the next decade, Mark worked harder than anyone else in the company. He took online courses, stayed late to learn the business, and always looked for ways to solve problems. Then, the company faced a crisis, one that could have shut it down. But Mark had a plan. He presented a bold strategy to save the business, and it worked. That success earned him the trust of the board. And when the time came, they made a historic decision. Mark was appointed CEO. So, what does Mark's story teach us? It's not about where you start. It's about where you're willing to go. Mark didn't have a fancy degree or special connections. He had curiosity, he had persistence, and he had the courage to believe he could be more than his circumstances. He once said, "I wasn't the smartest or the most qualified, but I refuse to let my circumstances define me. If I can do it, so can you." Mark's journey proves one thing. Success isn't about luck. It's about effort, belief, and showing up every day, even when it's hard. So, I ask you, what's stopping you? The only limits in life are the ones we place on ourselves. Start today. Take one small step, then another. And remember, greatness begins with small, consistent actions. Your story isn't over yet. Your success is waiting. Now go out there and rise to inspire.